Oracle Cloud Procurement. Hi, my name's Scott Walls, and in this video, you'll learn how to create a Spend Authorized Supplier in Oracle Cloud. So let's get started. Here I'm logged in as Calvin Roth. Calvin Roth is a supplier manager. With that, Calvin's going to go to the procurement functional area. He's going to open the supplier's application. This video will have 4 parts. The first 2 parts will add profile and address information. Then we're going to submit for approval. Then we'll add sites and contacts information. So now that I'm on the suppliers or have the supplier's application open, I'll go over here to the task panel, open it, and I'm going to click Create Supplier. So this is actually going to allow me to add all the information that I need related to just at the profile of the supplier. Spend Authorized. So I'm going to set the business relationship, to Spend Authorized. The tax org type will be corporation. The tax country is going to be United States. Now that tells Oracle that it's expecting 9 digits because that's how the US EIN, the Employment Identification Numbers, or Tax ID numbers, TIN, work. So now I'm going to click Create. But what I really did is I added all the information that I needed for the Profile tab. So Oracle, smart enough, takes me straight to the Address tab. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to click the plus sign, and that's going to bring up the address page where I can put the address information in. Now I'm going to show you something interesting. This bar here, this is DataFox, and what this does is it will go out and it will search all of the different addresses in the United States. So in theory, I could type in most of that address, and then I can click this, and it pulls all the data in very nicely. If you don't have that feature, that's okay. Just enter the data as you see here or is applicable in your neck of the woods, or your area, if you will. So I'm going to name this address HQ. I'm going to come over here and say within this address I want to order, I want to get paid, and I want to do bidding or request for quote. That's sourcing. All right. I'm not going to worry about an email. I'm going to save and close this address, which takes us back to the what I call the top level. And now, like I said, we're going to do part 1 profile. We're going to do part 2 address. Now we need to save this record and we need to submit it for approval. What this environment does is it's set to auto approval. So it says here it's submitted the profile for approval, but what I'm going to do real quick is now I'm going to go find that in Manage Suppliers, and hopefully I can find it before it gets approved. Here it is here. Here's number 4. This will tell you that there's an approval still in process. The approval's fairly quick for this instance. So now I'm going to click search, and hopefully that blue circle with the I in it goes away, meaning it gets approved. And there it is. So now I want to open my supplier back up and complete step 3 and step 4, or part 3 and part 4. All right. So it looks like we're in contacts. I want to go back a step into site. I'm going to go edit this profile. That gives me the plus icon. And now I'm going to add a site. The site is interesting. What the site does is it's going to allow me to expose this supplier with certain defaults to a given requesting business unit. So let's go show you how that works. I want to go grab the address I created in part 2. And then I want to put in a site assignment, but as you see, that's not available. So I'm going to do a save. Here's where it gets important. In this example, because it's Procurement Cloud, I'm going to add a contact. And so I'm going to put the email that this supplier receives communication at the contacts level. If I wasn't going to do that, then I would need to go into purchasing, set the communication method, and do that here. So since I'm going to go into site assignments, I can do one of 2 things. I could either add this particular record, or I could say, hey, auto create all my assignments for this procurement business unit. So if you have a shared service environment with lots of different underlying BUs and you want to grant all that access at once, that's an easy way to do it. Let's say for this example, I don't want to do it for the UK, but I do want to do it for the US. Do it meaning I do want to expose this supplier to the US requesting business unit, or what Oracle calls here a client business unit. So now that I've done that, I want to save and close. That's part 3. And now the last part is adding the contact. And look at this. It's telling me already this site has no active contacts. What it's also telling you is if you launch a supplier qualification or publish a supplier negotiation, there's nowhere for you to communicate using the basic email that initiative or that negotiation. So let's go ahead and go into contacts. Now we see there's a plus icon here. Now, one good habit to do or get into is click save. Looks like I saved. Now I'm going to add this contact. I'm going to add Lisa Daniels. So let's go into here and let's add Lisa and then the last name Daniels. Now, at least it's going to be my administrative contact, and I'm going to give Lisa a, let's see, Daniels at Panamere.com. Obviously, when you add yours, you probably want to use a different email address. All right, so then I can save that. Now I'm going to link my contact to my address, which is linked to my site. Again, so that when I go into, let's say, a negotiation, and you can see this in our free course on Panamere.com, you can see that by choosing this supplier, it will automatically choose the site, and in this case, Lisa, so it knows where to send or publish that negotiation to. So let's go ahead and open the addresses. This will show me any of the addresses I've entered. I'm going to select OK to choose that address. I'm going to scroll down. Now here is what's really nice, and it's definitely different when we've gotten into cloud. Before, the ability to add users was a little bit trickier in what we call the on-premise or this old architecture. When you're in cloud, I just click this button. Now when I click it, it's going to bring up any series of different roles. The roles in Oracle Cloud, or in most applications, determine the page access. So this tells me what this user can do in the supplier portal. Data access would just tell me if I wanted this supplier contact to have access to multiple suppliers, which we don't care about here. So with that, I'm going to scroll up, click Save and Close. This takes me back to that top level, if you will, for the supplier. I'm going to save it one more time, even though it tells me it was saved. And then I'm going to submit this supplier for approval. So that's how you create a Spend Authorized Supplier in Oracle Cloud. Have questions? Great. Reach out to me directly using the link below. Want to learn how to create all the basic purchasing transactions in Oracle Cloud? Check out my free basic procurement course on Panamere.com. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.